Hey, what's up, my friend? So, welcome back to this week's market analysis. You don't see a live face of me down here because, hey, you got me down here, right? So, I figured, right, since you can see my face on this website of mine, so we'll skip the live video of my face just for this week. So that's it. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I've got quite a number of questions from traders who ask me, hey Rayner, I really want to learn more about your trading approach, right? Is there any way I can find out more? And yeah, of course there is, right? All you need to do is go down to my website, tradingwithrayner.com. I'll put a link below and you'll see this, right? This is the homepage. So just scroll down a little bit. You see there's two books down here. The first book, The Ultimate Trend Following Guide, and The Ultimate Guide to Price Action Trading. Just download these two guides and you have a crystal clear understanding of my trading methodology. And it's free, by the way. So just go ahead and download it and I'll send it to your email. And if you're wondering what other traders are saying, here are some of the feedback that I've gotten. For example, Joe, he said that aspiring traders and traders who want to be successful in trading, right? This information shared will make you consistent gain. This is better than what other coaches sell. Read this section and practice. That's all you need to trade price action, right? So this is the same way he has been trading for many years and he works in any markets and it's a skill for life. So again, right, just go down to my website, tradingwithrayner.com, and just download these two guides. And I promise you, right, you'll be crystal clear into how I trade the markets. So with that, let's move on into this week's market analysis, shall we? So the first market that I want to talk about is, let's see, what do I have in mind today? Dollar Canadian, right? How about this? So dollar Canadian, just want to share with you my thought process in this market because there is a potential setup that is, unfolding itself. Looking at the big picture, this is the dollar Canadian weekly time frame, and we can see that it is still in an uptrend, right? In the grand scheme of things, right? We have higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and I agree. Recently, we broke this previous low over here. Okay, but the reason why I'm still bullish is because by paying attention to the structure of the markets, by paying attention to the price action structure. If you look at this, right, we have this basically resistance, right? Price broke out of resistance and previous resistance becomes what? Support, right? Then price rallied higher and then it came back all the way back down, testing this area of support once again. In fact, it actually broke below it, right? These two candles, it broke below it, and on the third candle, it closed back strongly above this area of support. And because of the fact it managed to close back above this area of support, my longer term bias is still towards the upside, right? Simple as it is. So in other words, this over here, this fake out is, in other words, it's what I call a false breakout, right? Because price traded lower and those who are short basically got caught off guard, right? Where price actually rallied back higher above support. So now it's basically consolidating near above support, right? And to be honest, right, I don't trade off the weekly time frame. So what I'll do is I go down to the daily time frame to look at possible trading setups, all right? So on the daily time frame, what I notice is this, right? Price is basically in a consolidation, right? This is the area of resistance and this is the lows over here. So what I'm looking for is for price to break and close above this area of resistance to go long. So can you see the thought process, right? Higher time frame, I am bullish, and on a daily time frame, I look for a sensible entry to get long this market, which is in line with my bullish bias for dollar Canadian. So if I do get long, what is our potential reward? So you can see down here, based on the higher time frame structure, if we break above this high, there is possibility of price retesting back this highs over here. So from a risk to reward standpoint, this is something that looks pretty attractive as of right now. So there is no guarantee, right? Of course, that there is no guarantee price will break out higher and then zoom all the way back to this high. There is no guarantee. What could possibly happen is price break out higher, then it does a false breakout before smashing back lower. That could be another alternate scenario. So nonetheless, right, this is just basically my thought process on why I'm looking to go long on dollar Canadian. So something for you to look out for in the coming week, right? So there's a good chance that it may retest this area of resistance. Okay, so the next market that I want to share with you is somewhere really close to home to my fellow Singaporeans. So let's look at the big picture again, shall we? Weekly time frame, right? Weekly time frame. Again, let's look at very basic technical analysis, basic understanding of price action of the markets. So that's it. prior to this portion over here, the market was actually in an uptrend, right? You can see, right? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then price break and close below this area of support over here. So I get rid of the lines, right? This was the turning point for the market because it broke and closed below this area of support. At the same time, it formed a lower high. So at this point in time, you have a lower high and a lower low. So you can tell yourself, right? It does not mean that the downtrend has begun, but rather the uptrend is getting weak. So this is the first clue, right? So at this point in time, your bias should be along the line of, neutral, right, to bearish. At this point in time, I don't have any trading setup as of yet. Then price, traded lower, rallied once again, giving you a lower high before it trades lower once again. So at this point in time, I'm bearish on the dollar Sing. In the big picture, right? I'm bearish on dollar Sing. So on the weekly time frame, again, for those of you who trade chart patterns, there is a pattern over here that you may want to check out, right? This is the head and shoulders pattern, right? The neckline is a little bit slanted, but we can still qualify this as a head and shoulders pattern. And what's even more interesting is that we have a pattern within a pattern. So what do I mean by this, right? Weekly time frame, you have this head and shoulders pattern, right? On a daily time frame, you have another head and shoulders pattern, right? This is the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and this time this is the neckline over here. So you can see, right, we have a pattern within a pattern. So that's it. Since I'm bearish on the dollar Sing, what I'm looking to do this coming week if price can break and close below this area of support, I'll be looking to go short on the dollar Sing. All right, so this is another market that I'm looking at this coming week. All right. And just another one to share is the New Zealand Canadian. You can see that New Zealand has been really strong in recent weeks, right? Recent days, recent weeks. You can see that on this currency pair we have basically this strong move up higher. So at this point in time, right, I'm not going to long at this high over here because there is basically, right, as what we've talked about last week, there is no place on the chart to reference to set my stop loss. All right, the nearest swing low is over here, and I don't think you want to have your stop loss, right, this large over here, right? Doesn't really make sense. Likewise, you go down to the 4-hour time frame, right? The nearest structure that comes in, right, is at this low over here. And if you want to enter, again, here to here is your stop loss. Doesn't really make much of a sense. So this is why, I'm not going to chase this market. What I'll do instead is that I'll let price come to me, right? I'll let price come to an area of value. So where is an area of value on this time frame, right? You look left, right? Red line is the 20 period moving average. Blue line, the 50. Put these two together, you have basically a zone over here, an area where price tends to bounce off. Historically, right, you notice it has bounced off a few times, right? Pardon my grammar. So what I'm looking for in this coming week, right, is for price to retrace lower back towards this zone over here before I look to get long on board the trend once again. So this is my plan for the New Zealand Canadian. I may or may not get an entry, but this is just something that I'll be patiently waiting for, right? Because trading is as much as a disciplined game as well as being patient in stocking your entries, right? You are basically like a lion, right? You want to hunt for a prey, you hunt the weak one, you hunt the young prey, or the frail and fragile one, the easy one to get, right? So same as trading, right? You want to wait for the setup to come to you, wait for the easy setup to come, the very obvious one, and take those trades, right? Not to chase the market all along, because just think about this, right? Just think about this. If you chase the market at this point in time and the market retraces against you, you're losing money, right? That's one, you're losing money because you enter at this high over here. The second thing is this. You have difficulty cutting your trades because why is that? Because the uptrend is still intact. Because as price trades lower and lower again, you look back and you tell yourself, hey, the trend is still intact, right? It makes me so silly, to cut my trade. And when you finally do cut your trade, say for example, you cannot stand the pain anymore or your account is, depleted, you cut your trade and then price rally back higher at the location where you intended to go long from the start. And I can tell you, if that happens to you, it's going to mess up your psychology big time. Okay? So this is important, my friend. Right? Bear this in mind, right? So, as I've mentioned, right, over and over again, don't chase the markets, let the market come to you. And yeah, right, this is basically, what trading is all about. So we have come to the end of this week's market analysis. If you have enjoyed, this kind of weekly updates or the regular trading tips that I put out, then feel free to hit the subscribe button below and you'll always be updated on time. Okay? So with that said, right, if you have any comments, any feedback from me, just feel free to leave it in the comment section below. With that, I wish you good luck and good trading. Talk to you soon.